Good
Yes,
evening, all of
yes.
you. At the outset, I would like to thank TAPCon the committee chair, and especially Dr. Padmavati, Dr. Sudha Madam, and Dr. Arunalata Madam for inviting me. This is something like a new, it's a new topic, and I just want to just, based on my personal experience, and I've been here for a very short while, just going to be 3 years here now, and after a long tenure in India. So whatever is my experience, based on my experience, I will like to share the some eye opener for career options and prerequisites and for professional practice in for pathologists in the Middle East. Just a brief introduction to the Gulf countries. The Gulf countries, especially the KSA, UAE, Qatar, have seen highest growth rate in healthcare over the last decade, and there has been for last over the last 50 years, there's been continuously they've been outsourcing skilled resources from outside, and even now there is a demand for external professionals, especially in healthcare, where almost I would say about 70 to 80% of the high-end specialists and consultants are outsourced from outside, especially from India, Pakistan, South Asia, and from Western countries. As far as KSC is concerned, so I would like to highlight more about KSC where I'm working. There is the Saudi Vision 2030 is now in place along with the National Transformation Program, where there is a vision to increase about more than over the current 500 more emerge hospitals across the country, and there is increasing role of the private sector nowadays in the recent months, privatize portions of the hospitals, especially IT, etc., and more reference labs have been set up, and this is part of the Vision 2030. As far as the organization overview is concerned, the Ministry of Health, which forms the largest chunk of the healthcare network in this country, they range from medium to large tertiary care referral centers, and it's a diverse work environment with doctors and support staff from different countries. And basically, an organogram would include a hospital director, hospital medical director, and as far as the lab is concerned, it's headed by a lab director who can be either a medical or a non-medical qualified person. But if in that case, there will always be a medical lab director, and there are consultants, specialists, supervisors, technicians, nurses, support staff, etc., as in any other hospital. And SOPs and guidelines are as per international standards. The accreditation body is called SIBAHI here, which is equivalent to the NABL, and several labs and hospitals, several labs in KSA are accredited with CAP also. So this is a brief overview. As far as other countries in the part of the GCC is concerned, major players are Kuwait, Qatar, Bahrain, UAE, and just a small difference from Saudi would be major private players are involved, whereas in KSA it is the other way around. The government sector is more. They have more wider network compared to the private sector, although that is changing now. And we have very well known standalone labs and hospitals in UAE, Bahrain, Kuwait, and Qatar. And of course, they also have their own government, there is Ministry of Health, which comes under the government setup. So this is the scenario in the Gulf countries. Basically, the way to go forward, if anyone is interested for a job here, would be through Naukri Gulf portal or any other international job portals. And as far as the Saudi Ministry of Health jobs or private sector jobs are concerned, they usually go through authorized recruiter agencies such as Goodfellow or Hapsons. I'm just citing these two in India. So if you can go to these websites and apply and upload your CV, then whenever the interviews are scheduled, which can be before the pandemic, the frequency of the interviews were about 4 times a year, and now I'm not very sure. Now they're doing more through the Skype. Or the other option would be directly you can go to the Emerge website, hospital website under the employment services. But I'm not sure. I've not had any personal experience or anybody who has done this directly. Although it is there, the facility is there to apply on in the website. Or you can go, if it's a private corporation like, no, I'm just citing Hamad in Qatar, it's a well-known hospital. You can go directly to the hospital websites and also apply. This is the mode of job search. So this is the website, KSA portal. You can go to the e-services and upload your, and at the time of your job application, you should not be an employee of the ministry at the time. So this is one thing I just want to note. So as far as KSA is concerned, this is the brief country-wise, province-wise in the country. And the largest network of hospitals is by the Ministry of Health. The other divisions which comes again under the government include the Ministry of Defense, Ministry of Interior, and Ministry of Education. Education is in the teaching colleges, medical colleges, both for MBBS, postgraduate, as well as for applied sciences and other allied sciences, and of course the private sector. So these are broadly the divisions where you can where job search can be done. However, the MOH is the largest. So the MOH interviews are held across major cities in India. This is before the pandemic. Now, of course, through Zoom and Skype. And basically what we need to ensure is, if anyone is interested, then we have to ensure that all our academic documents are properly documented with regard to the date and attestation, especially your transcripts. I don't know whether now they are giving elaborate transcripts, but along with the degree and your mark sheets and your course, etc., an elaborate transcript of what all areas of training you undergone, month-wise or year-wise, what that could definitely help. That applies for all your degrees and your certificates. Experience letters must have date of joining and leaving the organization with very clear what position was held, and a brief overview of the job responsibilities held in the job. And any break in experience of more than 6 months should be explained and should be attested by a legal affidavit. So these are some things they would like to check. They're very, very they emphasize on the authenticity and the completeness of all the documentation. So please ensure all the documents are complete. So as far as classifications and designations are concerned, I'm referring to the MD pathology. MD pathology with or DNB, both are accepted. If you have less than 2 years of experience, then you are classified as a resident. About 2 years and above, you will be registrar. And as far as consultant is concerned, any training, fellowship, PhD, DM, and all Western classification like FRC Path, AB, etc., and Germany and all Canadian board, Australian board, all are categorized or classified as consultant. With regard to post MD, we have only 3 years of our course is only for 3 years, whereas minimum they require 4 years for consultant. So this is one point which I would like to say. And senior registrar is same as consultant, except that they are less than 3 years. Some categories among the consultants will vary depending upon the country of origin, which they've categorized in their website. So basically, the components of salary will, like any job institution, will be basic, experience, specialty, transport, housing, and exceptional. And this is a basic salary grid. This is a very rough overview, and maybe it is about a year or a little more than a year old. It could have changed. So I'm just giving a very broad range, and this broad range is because it covers people, employees or potential aspirants, both from India and from Western. So that's why the range is very broad. Experience allowance maximum, it's about 15 years experience. So it can range from 230 to 700 SAR depending upon the qualification from where you've done your postgraduate qualification. And you have, in addition to your specialty allowance and other benefits, of course, medical insurance, yearly tickets, etc. So these are, again, it will vary from each person to person, and also from the Ministry of Defense and Ministry of Health, etc. Slightly it will vary, but this is the overall basic salary grid. So before you, once you're selected for the job and you are working for your visa and you want to before that, this is a brief checklist. Get your offer. After getting your offer letter, attestation of all original documents, including your degree, your license, all that has to be done. It is done in the respective institutions. Like if you have done it in MMC, then you have to go to MMC or MGI University or to Tamil Nadu Medical Council, or else there is an option to go to the secretariat and also do it. It's quite an elaborate procedure, and this is the toughest. The second part is the toughest part of the procedure. It can take about 1 month to 3 months depending upon the circumstances, and if you are done outside Chennai, then it takes a longer time. Then you have police clearance, medicals, then your actual job contract letters offered, and then you have a temporary work visa, which is for about 90 days. So once you're through with all this, then you join the job, and your basically your residential expat residency permit is generated after landing in Saudi, and it is renewable annually. And then you have an elaborate contract letter prepared, and which has to be checked with your original job offer. Probation period is 3 months, and then you have to sign your privileges and your job responsibilities. Privileges will not be forced onto, but whatever you're comfortable with. If you're comfortable with histopathology, then you make sure that you can report only histopathology or clinical pathology, whatever it is. So this is before you actually take your license. So Saudi MO jobs allows you to work up to a maximum period of a year before the next annual contract is renewed to do this. So then every year you have to renew the contract. It's as per the Hijri calendar. So it's just about less than a year, and this is how it goes. Then coming to the license, I will give, it's almost the same procedure as far as almost all the Gulf countries are concerned. First, I would like to say that although it is the uniform procedure as far as license is concerned, the exam and the license procedure, each country you have to take a separate license to practice in each country. So this I just want to make it clear. As far as Saudi is concerned, Saudi Commission for Health Specialties is the sole body to register, classify, and schedule and evaluate and grant license. So, and also it also renews a license and awards CPD points, and also it helps to modify in case you are promoted or you have additional training and you want to change your classification. And also it issues good standing certificate. So this is a website. So prior to any license procedure, you have to do a data flow primary source verification by the data flow group. Basically, it is to verify the authenticity of all your documents. All these procedures can be done while in India. If you can save time, assuming that you get a job offer in say June, maybe it will take about 4 to 5, maximum 3 to 4 months for the visa and the entire process to come. You can complete your data flow verification. That will save time, and once you land there, you can start applying the license right away. Go ahead for classification and license. So basically, this data flow group, the website I've given here, it is similar to EPIC and ECFMG for GMC. Verifies all your basic MBBS, MD, your license, your training, your job, previous experience. All the documents are uploaded, and they do the verification for the authenticity of the document. So this is a must. Once this is done, then you upload it into the website for the Saudi Commission for Health Specialties. It's called Mumaris Plus. Once you complete your uploading of the data flow process, then you are classified. So basically, you're classified as per the regulations, registrar, senior registrar, etc. And then you are given eligibility to take up your exam, or in case of consultants, it can be interview. Sometimes they just don't schedule any interview or exams. It is an independent decision by the committee. Usually it is done for Western qualifications. And then you do the registration. Once you clear the exam or the interview, then you register with the Saudi Commission. So this is how basically the process goes. See, it can be done while in India also. The entire process can be done in India. But I mean, they give up to 1 year time. If you join on June 1st, till the next year, your renewal, you should be ready by the time you renew the contract. At the time of renewal of the contract, you should have your license ready. Which is not true in case of other Gulf countries like Bahrain and UAE, where they insist on within 3 months, I think 3 or 4 months. It's a shorter period comparatively. Here they give up to the first year, that is first time year of contract renewal, you should be ready with your license. And this data flow can be done easily while in India. Even your exams, Prometric exam, can be scheduled while in India. It's a computer-based exam. Only for consultants, they have interviews. I don't know whether they're scheduling interviews in Zoom. I'm not very sure. But definitely, Prometric is being done in India.
Okay.
So this is about the Saudi classification. Classification categories, this is very important. Please select, this is as per our selection, and of course you have to show that you are qualified and trained in the respective categories. You have anatomical pathology, clinical pathology, hematology, transfusion medicine, and microbiology. Subspecialty, if you want to include based on a fellowship or training or higher specialty, then you can include that. And based on this, choosing the discipline, your exam or your interview will be held according to the classification category. So basically, before I come to the evaluation part, the career options in UAE is concerned. So I've given a brief overview about KSA. Now for UAE, it is a little bit complicated in the sense there are 3 divisions. There is a separate division for Abu Dhabi, which is HAD and Dubai Health Authority, and in Dubai Health Authority itself, there is another DHCC, and the rest of UAE like Sharjah, etc., they have what is called UAE MOH. So these are separate bodies which give license, and separate depending upon where you land up for the. So this is slightly different. So these HAD, DHA, DHCC, each is an individual license, each is an individual evaluation, but you can provide the same data flow for all the as common one data flow report is enough for all the, including Saudi. You can, for a small nominal fee, you can transfer that report. So that can be done. As far as UAE is concerned, you can do it online. It's called Shreyan. It's a self-assessment tool to check whether your degree and your qualification and experience is accepted for preliminary assessment. So this is a website. You can go and do a self-check. And if you think self-check has been rejected, you can ask for a manual review also. So that provision is also there. So this is the process. You can go to the Shreyan website portal and do the questionnaire and get your self-checking done. So other countries, these are the bodies. For Bahrain is NHRA, DHP, MOH for Qatar, and MOH for Kuwait. So almost all follow the same route: Prometric data flow verification, Prometric exam or interviews, or Prometric written exam with practicals, and then followed by license. But each country has to be dealt with separately. So coming to the exam, which is for a pure MD pathology specialist category, usually the written exam is scheduled. Once the eligibility number is generated in your portal, you have to pay the exam fees in the Prometric or Pearson website and schedule your exam. Centers include centers in India. It's a computer-based exam. Even remote assessment at home is facilitated during the pandemic. And the results are automatically uploaded in the respective portals, whether it is Dubai Health Authority or Mumaris or wherever you're applying the job. Excuse me. Schedule then for Saudi, there was no practical exam. But for UAE, when I had applied, there was a practical exam for which I had to go to Dubai, and there was a Viva. It was a proper slide assessment with the Viva. That's for histopathology. So slight difference will be there for practical exam. Evaluation certificate will be given, and this is valid for 5 years. So you can, in case you are opting to go for any of the job later on, this is valid for 5 years, but maximum 3 attempts for the exam. So this is important. Evaluation is valid for 5 years. It's a MCQ. The written exam is an MCQ based exam, about 150 questions in 3 hours. System-wise markings are given. And overall cutoff is 70%. There's no individual system cutoff. Practical cases for the practical exam scheduled inside UAE and Saudi. Interviews are done for consultant categories, but there are exceptions. As I said, usually for Western qualification, even for them there is evaluation, but sometimes there is exceptions, and the committee decides on granting the license. If you choose anatomical pathology and your qualification experience also supports that, then you will be evaluated only in histopath. If you choose clinical path, you will be evaluated only in clinical path. So this is about the exam. The Viva overall, I took it up quite recently, but 2 years back I took it up. So I would say it's very high standard, and because I took FRC Part 1, everything almost in a row, I can say that the standard is quite high, matches FRC Path exam. And preparation, you can just standard textbooks, MCQ from Steele O'Connor. Support groups are very, very, very key part at least in my experience. YouTube and WhatsApp, Telegram, Twitter, and of course websites like USCAP, Leeds, RCPath. The pandemic was a blessing in disguise, I would say. Definitely saturated with a lot of academic material. So these are some of the tips for preparing for the exam. Coming to work culture and atmosphere, it's a multicultural environment. Maybe it's true for any other country, but here definitely you can see at least to my, I would say about 20 odd nationalities who work in the hospital. 8 hours, 5-day week, that is Sunday to Thursday scheduled. Annual leaves and comp-offs up to maximum you can get up to 60 days per annum. And job responsibilities, privileges, these are part of the work culture. Privileges are given according to your experience and your classification. So, and there is very good, excellent work-life balance. I would definitely vouch for that. There is, compared to India, at least I can vouch because I had a long career in India. Personal feedback, my feedback would be registration license can be a long drawn process, but doable if well prepared and with a sound documentation. The hitch is in the database of the website. Some colleges may not have the MD pathology course, or if the course is there, the college won't be there. Those are some technical hitches which you have to pay some additional fee and get it included in the website, in the portal. So these are, but thankfully our Dr. MGR Medical University is there, and Madras Medical College is also there, and many of them are working, so I'm not sure. So but if you're from other colleges, definitely you like to this can be a little long drawn process. Otherwise, if you have sound documentation, data flow, everything is in place. Documents are very scrutinized to a much high degree here. And this is about the registration. It is doable, definitely it is doable. And as an expat, just about 2.5 years, nearly 3 years I've been here. There are pros and there are cons. Pros, I would definitely say work-life balance. I would say the first point. And secondly, it is given the free time has given me a lot of free time to study and do other hobbies, etc. And cons, definitely, if you are not with the family, definitely that is a big negative thing. If you are living with the family, absolutely it's quite a nice place to live, and it's overall good. Job satisfaction, career growth, I would definitely say there's a lot of satisfaction, newer opportunities. As you suppose you're trained, you get additional training, you can apply for upgrade. And that, of course, the icing in the cake is the tax-free salary. And the cost of living is in the smaller towns, smaller cities, is definitely, it is quite reasonable. This is my personal experience. And just if you come as a couple and a family, definitely it is beneficial. That is as far as the pros are concerned. This only thing regarding children's education in the smaller cities, maybe some Indian schools may not have more than 9th grade or so. So these are some you have to, some other alternate arrangements has been done. This is the only drawback. So take home message, there's a continuous demand for qualified healthcare professionals in the Middle East and GCC. This point I would definitely highlight: post MD additional qualification, subspecialty training, Western qualification is in high demand. At least we should strive to increase our MD course to 4 years, 4 or 5 years. Definitely, it should be pan India. Even our neighboring countries like Pakistan have converted done away with their MDs, and they have done a 5-year course. So definitely we should because of this no, we are losing our consultant and specialist consultant category because of the duration of the course. Experience is valuable for boosting salary component, but predominantly the most important thing is the qualification. Experience adds to your, because as you have more experience, your salary component is increasing, but overall the qualification is always it has more value than experience. Work culture and atmosphere ensures good work life balance. And if you're coming here, you have to know about the latest rules, regulations like labor laws, visa guidelines, etc., and weigh your pros and cons and choose your options. So this is my last slide. Thank you so much, and best of luck to all aspirants.